Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopijana Ballabha Vrindavan Jari Gopijana Ballabha Vrindavan Jari Jasodanana Jajadana Ranjana Jasodanana Jajadana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Manatera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjam Bihari Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Coming in for a safe landing in Vrindavan. So now we can have... Okay. So my apologies, my voice is halfway gone from my bronchitis, but I couldn't resist this opportunity to come and speak something because it's very enlivening to the self, actually, to speak Bhagavad-gītā. Today we're speaking on 1868, isn't it? 1868? Yeah. Let's see here, we got it in the iPad. It's easier for me to read here. So I'm going to read it on the computer. Close. Bhagavad-gītā 1868. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ya idam paramam guhyam. Mad-bhakteṣv bhaktim mayi parāṁ kṛtvā. Evaiṣyaty asaṁśayaḥ. Ya idam paramam guhyam. Mad-bhakteṣv bhaktim mayi parāṁ kṛtvā. evaiṣyaty asaṁśayaḥ. Ya idam paramam guhyam. Mad-bhakteṣu eṣyati. Bhaktim mayi parāṁ kṛtvā. evaiṣyaty asaṁśayaḥ.
idaṁ paramam guhyam, mad-bhakteṣv abhidhāsyati, bhaktim mayi parāṁ kṛtvā, maam evaiṣyaty asaṁśayaḥ.
idaṁ paramam guhyam, bhakteṣu abhidhāsyati, bhaktim mayi parāṁ kṛtvā, maam evaiṣyaty asaṁśayaḥ. Ya idam paramam guhyam, bhakteṣu abhidhāsyati, bhaktim mayi parāṁ kṛtvā, maam evaiṣyaty asaṁśayaḥ.
Ladies,
idaṁ paramam guhyam,
mad-bhakteṣv bhaktim mayi parāṁ kṛtvā, maam evaiṣyaty asaṁśayaḥ.
Ya idam paramam guhyam, mad-bhakteṣu abhidhāsyati, bhaktim mayi parāṁ kṛtvā, maam evaiṣyaty asaṁśayaḥ.
yeah, anyone who idam, this paramam, most guhyam, confidential secret, mutt of mine, bhakteṣu, amongst devotees, abhidhāsyati explains bhaktim, devotional service, mayi, unto me, parām, transcendental, kṛtvā, doing, mam, unto me, certainly, eṣyati, comes, asaṁśayaḥ, without doubt. Translation and purport, by His divine grace, Srila Prabhupada. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. Purport. Generally, it is advised that Bhagavad-gītā be discussed amongst the devotees only. For those who are not devotees will understand neither Kṛṣṇa nor Bhagavad-gītā. Those who do not accept Kṛṣṇa as He is and Bhagavad-gītā as it is should not try to explain Bhagavad-gītā whimsically and become adventurers. Bhagavad-gītā should be explained to persons who are ready to accept Kṛṣṇa as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is a subject matter for the devotees only, and not for philosophical speculators. Anyone, however, who tries sincerely to present Bhagavad-gītā as it is, will advance in devotional activities and reach the pure devotional state of life. As a result of such pure devotion, he is sure to go back to home, back to Godhead. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Balakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shab Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Savitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha Namah Vishnu Padaya Kṛṣṇa Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine. So, I've been blessed with a very auspicious opportunity to follow the instruction given here by Kṛṣṇa. For one who explains the supreme secret to devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. So I knew that even though I'm very sick today, I had to come and give this lecture, because I knew this would guarantee my going back to home, back to God. I have to give this lecture today. Even though I was sick in bed the whole day, I have to come do this, you see. This supreme secret, why is it called a supreme secret? I mean, are we keeping it secret? It's buried away in some vault somewhere, locked up with a big combination that nobody can get in. It's called an open secret, you see. We make it available to everyone, but yet, because they don't have the ears to hear, because it doesn't it just bounces off from you. So it remains a secret. It's called Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam. This is the topmost knowledge and the most secret of all secrets. So, but it's interesting to note here, it should not be explained to a person who's not ready to accept it. So why are we doing mass book distribution, one could ask? Well, the point is you have to present it according to their level. Prabhupada wanted us to do massive book distribution, flood the whole world with these books. But yet his thing should not be explained to the non-devotees. So that means we have to present it according to their level. That's all. Just like a bunch of first graders in the elementary school, would you teach them trigonometry or algebra? You see, I didn't learn algebra till the 7th grade. You see, I was not taught algebra in the 1st grade. In the 1st grade, the teacher said, "My dear students, 1 + 1 = 2." You see, that we could, you take one cat and 2 cats. You take 1 cat and 1 cat. Now you have 2 cats. You see, that we understood. You see. So the point is, you have to give it the knowledge according to the level of understanding. So even to non-devotees, we can give them according to their level. You're not that body. Just like I was at the Mind and Body and Spirit Expo in Austin a few months ago, I gave a lecture to a small group of people, completely non-devotees. But I had them do this experiment. I said, point to your nose, point to your ear, now point to yourself. And they all pointed here, you see. Why did they point here? You see, they all pointed here. Why not here or here? Or why everybody points here? Because intuitively everyone knows I am actually seated here within the heart. That intuitive. So even if you're an atheist, you can do that experiment, and everybody will point here. You see, everyone points here intuitively, because intuitively everyone knows I'm a spiritual soul seated right here within the heart. You see. So in this way, you have to preach according to their level of understanding. Even atheists, we can explain to them some basic principles of psychology which actually lead into Kṛṣṇa consciousness. So it requires discretion. As it's sometimes stated, discretion is the better part of valor. We have to be intelligent enough and tune in enough to the super soul and the spiritual master and the previous acharyas to know how to present desha kala patra according to time, place, and circumstance. Because our mission is to deliver the whole world, starting with ourselves. Prabhupada said, more important than delivering the world is delivering yourself. You can't deliver the world if you're not delivered. Just like it is sometimes stated, physician, heal thyself. If the doctor is sick, can he go to the doctor's office to treat the patients? No. The doctor has to be healthy, otherwise he'll spread his disease to his patients. So the first business is that we become fixed in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. That's why we have our morning program, Mangal Arti, Tulsi worship, Japa, Guru Puja, Bhagavatam class. We have our morning program to purify our consciousness, to tune us into the Supreme Lord, the source of all existence. Aham sarvasya prabhava madaksaram pravartate. I am the source of all material and spiritual worlds. Everything emanates from me. So our first business is to tune into Kṛṣṇa. Turn on our spiritual identities as His pure spirit souls, and then we go out and we give them Kṛṣṇa consciousness. So in every way we can. We go out preaching, or we go to our job. Whatever our service is, we do every day. We try to spread Kṛṣṇa as much as possible in every situation. Just like you have a job, you can put. I know one of my godbrothers. He was working at Burroughs Corporation, one of these suit and tie type of jobs, you see. But he put a Bhagavad-gītā on his desk. And one of his co-workers, Randy Meyer, he said, "What is that book?" He said, "Oh, take it and read it." So that Randy Meyer became initiated disciple of Prabhupada, Ramaya Das, you see. So my godbrother, just by putting a Bhagavad-gītā on his desk, he made a devotee, you see. So we have to be in that aggressive mood, and in every situation, to spread Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Even I had the experience when I was working at MCI Telecommunications as a telemarketer. I went and applied for a job. I had a tie and shirt and tie covering my neck beads. I took off my tilak. I got hired. And one day I said, I've had enough of this. I'm going to wear tilak to work today. So I was doing telesales, and my manager, he gets a commission off of my sales. So that day I was selling like crazy. One sale and another sale. My manager came up to me and said, Mr. Bridge, that's my Karmi name, Bridge. He said, I don't know what that is on your forehead, but now on you must wear it every day, you see. So now in the order of my Karmi supervisor, wear tilak to work every day, you see. So the point is, try to spread Kṛṣṇa consciousness wherever you can, in every situation. We're the order by Prabhupada to make a spiritual revolution on this planet, to turn the whole world into a Vaikuntha planet. So take every opportunity, be aggressive, to first of all make yourself fixed in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, and then to spark off, do everything you can to spark up a global spiritual revolution in all times, all places, and all circumstances. What is that called? Preaching. So, it's also stated, the more you spread Kṛṣṇa consciousness, the more you get Kṛṣṇa consciousness, and the more you have Kṛṣṇa consciousness, the more you can spread it. So it works both ways, you see. It works both ways. The more you have it, the more you can give it, and the more you can give it, the more you can have it. So work on both sides of it. Just like we sing every morning. Bahir nasingha hridaye nasingha. Within and without, you see. Nishingha within and nishingha without. Kṛṣṇa consciousness within and Kṛṣṇa consciousness all around me in the world, you see. So in this way, as stated in this verse, you see, the more you explain this supreme circuit, the more you can explain this supreme secret to the devotees. You say, well, this is to the devotees, not the non-devotee. But actually, everybody's a devotee. Show me one person who's not a devotee. Jivara Sarupahoy, Krishnera Nityadas. The constitutional position of living entity is, he's the eternal servant of Krishna. Show me one, even a monkey or a cat, even a mosquito, every single jiva soul throughout the whole material existence is actually devotee. They've simply forgotten it, that's it. But the human form is the best opportunity to awaken it, although it sometimes happens in the dog family also. You know that story of Shivananda Saint and the dog? The dog became a devotee of Kṛṣṇa. Can you know the story? Yeah. Very nice story. Everybody knows the story, Shivananda Saint, you know the story? Yeah. That dog went back to Godhead before the devotees did. Can you imagine? A dog, he was the first one to go back to Godhead, you see. So even the dogs, you see, does anyone, so do everything you can to spread Kṛṣṇa consciousness wherever you can, to everyone you can, you see. Let everyone hear the holy names, you see. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. You'll be purified by chanting. Anybody who happens to be within earshot of your chanting, they also become purified. Even the microbial germs floating in the air, they all become purified. So just see, that's why it's said this Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement is all auspicious, you see. All auspiciousness become manifest in where the chanting of the holy names is chanted and heard. So it's a wonderful opportunity that Prabhupada has blessed us with, and by serving his order, we are connected with him, actually. Suddenly, Prabhupada said, if you remember me, I am there. So we remember Prabhupada's orders. If we remember Kṛṣṇa is also present. By remembering this wonderful verse in Purport, Kṛṣṇa is right here, right with us, just as much as he was with the Brijbasis 5,000 years ago. He's just as much present with us as he was with Kṛṣṇa and Arjuna and the chariot. He's just as much present with us as he was 5,000 years ago, and Prabhupada is just as much present with us as he was back in the 70s when he was walking to the temple room to offer the first arti to Kṛṣṇa Balaram, you see. He's just as much present now, you see. So you say, well, if I could just had Prabhupada's association, then I'd become really fixed up in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Well, he's here. He's here right now. He's fully present. Prabhupada told us in Atlanta there's two presences of the spiritual master, Vani and Vapu. He said Vani, the Vapu is sometimes present, sometimes not present, but Vani is more important because Vani is always present. So we have to learn how to connect with our beloved founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada through Vani. See? That was also my experience even when Prabhupada was here on this planet. I rarely saw him. You see, I saw him in 71, I saw him in 72, and I saw him in 75, and that was it. You see. Only in 3 out of those, I joined in 71. So Prabhupada was here for 6 years. When I joined, he actually had an opportunity to see him in 69, but I was a hippie. I didn't go. It might have been another one. I think one of those other Indian swamis. No, thank you. I wasn't ready yet. But then I saw him in 71. I saw him in 72. Then in 75, but not in 73 or 74 or 76 or 77. So many, but yet. By correspondence, I was writing Prabhupada and he was writing me back. So those letters are my greatest treasure, you see. All those letters that Prabhupada wrote me, they're my greatest treasure. All the little subtle things of those letters, you see. Even when he was here, my strongest association with him is the Vani, the instructions he gave me in those letters, you see. So those letters are just as much potent now as they were 50 years ago, you see. Just as much potent, you see. And it was amazing how Prabhupada blessed me with his association. I remember one letter, always, it's really, really a special treat when I think of Prabhupada's mercy. So you get initiated, you're a disciple, it's a form of relationship, guru-disciple, you see. Prabhupada gives instruction to the disciple, now continue and do this and do that, Kṛṣṇa will bless you, very formal thing. Yes, Gurudev, yes, Guru Maharaj, a very formal relationship. But then in the PS, when Prabhupada signed his, of course, he dictates the letter and the typist types it up, then Prabhupada signs it with a pen. But then I got some special mercy. When he signed the name with his pen, he put a PS also in the pen, which was not dictated to the typist. He said, PS, we're going to Nairobi on Friday night. Wow. That's like to the father to the son, you see. That's intimate thing. Oh, we're going to Nairobi on Friday night. It's like the father tells the son, you see. So, and I think of that, how Prabhupada gave me that special blessing. You're not only my disciple, but you're my son also, you see. So I think of those things that give me it just makes me want to cry also when I think, oh, Prabhupada was so kind to me. So much kind to me. He blessed me in this way, you see. And those things are still sitting in my heart, remembering. Another letter he wrote me, he said that I could aspire to become Jagat Guru, the spiritual master of the whole universe. But then he said, all material desires, 0. And then with his pen, he underlined all material desires. He underlined with his pen, with he typed it in, all material desires, you see. So that also Prabhupada gave me special mercy, you see. He reminded me, and I meditated on that again and again and again. All material desires, 0. And that's the position I have to come to if I actually want to preach according to my desire. You see. My desire will be fulfilled, Prabhupada was telling me, when all material desires are 0. So I think of these instructions, you see. Prabhupada gave so many instructions to so many disciples and so many purports and so many lectures and so many letters, a huge ocean of instructions. But when I think of those instructions that Prabhupada personally gave to me, there's just as much potent right now as they were 50 years ago. Because Prabhupada was not physically present when I got those instructions, even in the form of a letter, you see. But those letters are my greatest treasure, because just Prabhupada was more powerfully with me in those letters than he was in his physical presence. Even when he was here, those letters are my strongest connection with Srila Prabhupada, and those letters are still here, and I'm still remembering those instructions, how he underlined all material desires, how he said, we're going to Nairobi on Friday night. Those instructions just as powerful now as they were 50 years ago. So this is a very important thing. The connection with the spiritual master is what gives us access to this dimension of divine love, Kṛṣṇa consciousness, you see. There's a whole other dimension in there, you see, that's sleeping within us, this dimension of Kṛṣṇa bhakti, divine love, you see. That dimension is sleeping right now within our hearts. And one cannot enter it without having a spiritual master. But when you actually take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, by that loving relationship between the disciple and the spiritual master, that's what gives you access to having that loving relationship with Kṛṣṇa. You can't jump over the head of the spiritual master and enter into Goloka Vrindavan. It's not possible. You'll be forbidden entrance into the Goloka Vrindavan unless you come under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. So when you have that spiritual master, it's your access, you see. Just like they say, it's not what you know, but who you know, you see. So when you have that bona fide spiritual master, he gives you access to that innermost realm of divine love, that innermost region of the heart, Kṛṣṇa bhakti, seated right now within your heart. But actually that Goloka Vrindavan is also now within your heart, you see. That Kṛṣṇa and Radharani are there. They're all, the whole pastimes of Kṛṣṇa are right there within your heart. You just have to learn how to take shelter of the bona fide spiritual master, and then he gives you access to that divine realm, that amazing realm, Goloka Vrindavan, which is right there within you. All the pastimes of Kṛṣṇa, all the amazing pastimes of Radha and Kṛṣṇa are there. This morning I was really relishing one pastime. Let's see if I can remember the verse. I'll try. I'm not good at remembering verses, but I'll try. Priyasayan Kṛṣṇa saracharji karaksheta militas tataham sarada tadinam ubhayam sukam tatat yanta kelam madur murli panchamajushe manovala kanindi vipmanayas priyayati. This is Radharani speaking to one of her gopi friends. She said, my dear friend, see if I remember. I'm now meeting my very old and dear friend Kṛṣṇa on this field of Kurukshetra. I'm the same Radha, and now we're meeting together. It is very nice. But still, I want to meet with Kṛṣṇa in that forest of Vrindavan. I want to hear the sweet, the Madhura Murali Panchama. I want to hear the fifth note on his flute within those trees on the bank of the Jamuna, you see. So Radharani she's seeing Kṛṣṇa at Kurukshetra. It's so nice. Oh, I'm seeing my Kṛṣṇa again. But this is not her Vrindavan Kṛṣṇa, you see. This is actually, what is it? Vasudeva, you see. This is like the Durga Kṛṣṇa. He's Kṛṣṇa, but he's not the Kṛṣṇa I really want to see. I want to be with my Kṛṣṇa back in that Vrindavan on the bank of the Jamuna, hearing the vibration of his sweet flute on the fifth note, you see. So this is a very nice mood, you see. It's the mood of being separated. It's called Vipralamba Seva. Our Lord Chaitanya was also in this mood. He was Kṛṣṇa in the mood of Radharani, pulling the Ratha Yatra card. I must bring my Kṛṣṇa back to Vrindavan, back to Vrindavan, back to Vrindavan. So this mood of feeling separated from Kṛṣṇa and wanting to get back with Kṛṣṇa, Radharani shows that mood. So she's our Siksha Guru. She's showing us how to be in this mood of wanting to be back with Kṛṣṇa in that sweet Vrindavan Dham on the bank of the Jamuna in the moonlit night, hearing the sweet fifth note of the flute, you see. So in this way, these teachings are so amazing. This is the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this wonderful verse. So the more we can read these wonderful teachings and enter into this sublime mood of wanting to be back with Kṛṣṇa and his wonderful sweet pastimes in the spiritual world, feeling separated. Here I am suffering now in the cycle of birth and death, running after illicit sex, meeting, intoxication, and gambling. When will I give up this madness? When will that day come? Kabe habe bodo sedi namar. Bhakti Vinod praise. When will I give up all these offenses? Aparada gucci shudanami ruchi. When will I give up all these offenses and chant the holy name purely with love? Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Kṛṣṇa is waiting. Kṛṣṇa is waiting. Kṛṣṇa misses each one of us very, very, very much. We can't even understand how much Kṛṣṇa loves us and how much Kṛṣṇa is missing us through our sojourn and through the 8,400,000 species again and again and again. We cannot even begin to comprehend, even the slightest, cannot even begin to understand even the slightest minuscule fraction of what Kṛṣṇa is feeling for us right now, who are suffering in this cycle of birth. And the father, the beloved father, his children has run away from home, you see. And he's so much wanting them back, but he can't force them to come back like prisoners. They have to come back in their own desire. So he's doing everything he can to inspire us the desire to go back to home, back to Godhead. That's why he comes. Yada yada hi dharmasya glandar bhavati bharata. He comes again and again. He's seen so many Vaishnavacharyas here, Ramanacharya, Vishnu Swami, Madhvacharya, the Goswamis, Chaitanya, he comes to Chaitanya, so many great acharyas, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our beloved founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. He's coming again and again and again, directly and through his representatives, to induce us. Why are you suffering here? Don't you know that you're one of my eternal associates in my pastimes in the spiritual world? Don't you know you have an identity in my transcendental pastimes? Why do you misidentify with this bag of rotting flesh, this bag of stool, urine, and bones and blood? Why are you identified with spending your whole life trying to gratify this bag of stool, urine, pus, and blood? What are you doing here, you fools? Trying to enjoy this stool and urine and pus. You see? So it's time, my dear listeners, that we give up our foolishness trying to enjoy this bag of stool and urine and pus and get back to being who we actually are. Shivara Savrupahoi, Krishnera Nityadas. It's time we get back to being who we actually are. Don't cheat yourself. Don't be a rascal and a fool, you see. Trying to cheat yourself, trying to enjoy in that place where there absolutely is no enjoyment to be had. See? Get back to where you once belonged, you see. This is our Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement. Take it seriously, and your life will be unlimitedly sublime. Prabhupada explains that actually the pure devotee has no desire to go back to Godhead. Can you imagine that? Because wherever he is as good as back to Godhead, you see. Is Kṛṣṇa not present here right now, in this room? Is Kṛṣṇa not present within every atom, between every atom? Is Kṛṣṇa not present within our hearts? Kṛṣṇa is fully present. Everything about Kṛṣṇa is fully present. His associates, his forms, his quality, his flute playing, it's all here with us right now, you see. So the pure devotee, he's not even thinking, I have to go back to Godhead. He's already as good as back to home, back to Godhead right now, you see. So therefore, we simply have to embrace pure devotional service as our only business. I have no other duty, I have no other responsibility, I have nothing to do except to be the pure devotee of Kṛṣṇa right here, right now, you see. Do I have any other duty? Well, I have to go to work, I have to take care of my kids, I got to go to the doctor's office, I have to do this, that, so many things. You've been doing these so many things for millions of lifetimes, as a dog, as a camel, as a monkey, as a baboon. You've been doing so many things, birth after birth after birth. All right, do those things. For keeping body and soul together, that's all right. But do them in the consciousness of knowing this is not me. This is something I've been given this particular body, this particular situation, as a brahmachari, as a householder, a sannyasi, or whatever. I've been given this specific position. Now let me utilize it in such a way that Kṛṣṇa be pleased. That's all. Let me do this, in whatever my position is, as a man, as a woman, as a brahmachari, whatever it may be. Let me utilize my position in such a way that Kṛṣṇa be pleased with me. My spiritual master be pleased, and Kṛṣṇa be pleased. This is the secret of success. Do everything for the pleasure of Guru and Kṛṣṇa in all times, all places and circumstances. How would my spiritual master like me to think right now? How would he like me to speak? How would he like me to act? This is what we must do. We must imbibe this mood of pleasing Guru and Kṛṣṇa and Vaishnavas in every time, in every place, in every situation. This will liberate us from all the entanglement in this horrible nightmare of birth, death, old age, disease, adhyatmic, adhibhotic, and adhidaivic miseries. 7 kinds of misery we're being pounded with them, pounded with them, pounded with them. You see. We have the opportunity now, you see, to get out of this madness, to come back to the transcendental position, full of knowledge and full of bliss. That's all we have to do. Take it seriously, and the whole spiritual world will be ours, you see. We can go back to that original home. Actually, there's nothing sweeter than Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Prabhupada said, see, an interesting thing I just read tonight before we came over here. The Mayavadis, they want to become Kṛṣṇa. They want one with Kṛṣṇa. But Prabhupada said, our position become greater than Kṛṣṇa. Just like Arjuna, you see. Krishna's acting as his charioteer. Mother just said it. She's taking his little boy in the house being ordered by his mother. So Prabhupada said, our position become more than Kṛṣṇa. Why one with Kṛṣṇa become one with Kṛṣṇa? I mean, why one with Kṛṣṇa become more than Kṛṣṇa? You see, that's the amazing thing about this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. You gain your original rasa with Kṛṣṇa in the spiritual world. You see, those rasas are there. You can be a neutrality like a flute, the Kṛṣṇa's flute. Actually, it's interesting to note, the gopis, they're the highest rasa, isn't it? Conjugal, it's the highest rasa. But the gopis, they're envious. And the devotees in Shataras. That's very interesting. The gopis are the highest rasa, the conjugal rasa, but they're envious of the devotees in Shataras, the flute. Because they say that those lips belong to us, but that flute is giving Krishna's lips more than we are, you see. So just see the interesting transcendental composition in the spiritual world. Even the gopis are envious of the flute, who's just in neutrality, you see. So all these rasas are going on, and actually Prabhupada says you can switch rasas if you want to. It's not, you're locked in. The full loving reciprocation is there. However you want to serve Kṛṣṇa, whatever way, whatever mood you want to be in, there's full freedom in the spiritual world. Full freedom is there. So it's an amazing thing of loving reciprocation with Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is embracing the devotee heart to heart, and the devotee is embracing Kṛṣṇa heart to heart, and all these different relationships going on in amazing combinations of things which constitute the pastimes of Kṛṣṇa. Even the trees are in ecstasy hearing Kṛṣṇa's flute. We don't think of trees hearing usually, do we? But even the trees in Vrindavan hearing Kṛṣṇa's flute are in ecstasy. The trees are hearing. You say, how can a tree hear? But in Vrindavan the trees are hearing. The plants are also hearing, you see. It's an amazing thing in Goloka Vrindavan. Even when 5,000 years ago, the same thing happened on this planet. The trees and the plants could hear Kṛṣṇa's flute. So, it's called the Achintya Lila, amazing pastimes beyond our comprehension. Beyond what we call the rules of material nature. Yes, amazing pastimes. And they're all waiting for us, my dear listeners. They're all waiting for us. They're all waiting for us to get back to that sweet rasa, that bhakti rasa, waiting for us to embrace, you see. So here we are in mundane rasa, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. But that bhakti rasa is waiting for us. Come back. Kṛṣṇa is saying, come back, come back. Come back to being who you really are. My eternal, pure devotee, Sarupa Hari Javera Sarupa Nitya Kṛṣṇa Das. So we have a few minutes left. Does anybody have any questions?
So in the discussion you mentioned that everyone in this world is a devotee.
Everybody what?
Everybody is a devotee.
Yes, everyone's a devotee, that's right.
So that's why we should distribute this Kṛṣṇa consciousness to everybody.
Yes, but according to the level, everyone's a devotee, but it's like I gave the example earlier, you don't teach algebra to a first grader.
So how can we differentiate between devotee and offenders?
By common sense. It's common sense. Who's inclined, you can see who's inclined to hear about Kṛṣṇa and who's not.
So first,
It's very simple, by simple common sense. It's not difficult, just like I see here in this room. Everybody's inclined to hear about Kṛṣṇa. I see people smiling as I'm reciprocating, and I can see, they're reciprocating, so I can see you're reciprocating. But you can, by simple observation, when it's called studying the psychic movements. By simply seeing their faces, you can understand whether they're tuning in or not. So it's very simple then. By simple observation, you can see who's taking it, who's able to take it, and who's not. So we need to speak on such a level that people can take it. Whatever group kind of people we're speaking to, speak in such a way that they can actually reciprocate with it and tune into it. It's very simple then. Just like any salesman knows how to connect with the potential customer, you see. Expert salesman can judge the mentality of the potential customer and tune into whatever level he's at and tune into that level, you see. Isn't it?
and one more question.
Yeah.
What are the different means of preaching? Suppose if I say that I don't want to go outside and preach to the world, rather I want to work on myself, and through my own example, can I do the preaching?
Well, the Lord Chaitanya orders us to preach. Jari dekatadikaha Kṛṣṇa padash amaragaya guru hoyatari desh. So, if you want to work on your own Kṛṣṇa consciousness, that means you have to surrender to Lord Chaitanya, isn't it? So it's a simple thing. Preaching is a part of my own development. Surrendering to Kṛṣṇa includes preaching also. Hearing and chanting. First thing is hearing, shravanam. The second thing is chanting. Chanting means chanting so you can hear, it also means chanting so the whole world can hear. Chanting, so it means preaching is chanting, you see. Hearing is first, and then chanting comes next. So we hear about Kṛṣṇa, and you tell the world about Kṛṣṇa. Simple thing.
Thank you.
Anything else? That's it? Can't take any more, it's too much. Am I going over your head? Or is it you're absorbing it? Does it make sense what I'm saying, or is it kind of bewildering? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Is it going in? Is it going in? It's just going when you're in when you're not the other. Is it coming in and going to the heart? Yes.
Hare Krishna Gurudev. It is said that Krishna consciousness is easy for the simple and difficult for the
That's right.
So my question is, how do we convert that crooked mentality?
Yes. It's simple for the simple and difficult for the crooked. So how do you... well, it's also said in sales, some won't, some will, so what? Next. The thing is, in our preaching work, there's many people who will hear and appreciate it and be benefited from it. And there's some who become very angry if you try to preach to them. So we let those, if they want to go to hell, let them go to hell. Let them go to the animal kingdom, you see. So the thing is, for preaching, we focused on those people who are willing to hear. We don't waste our time with those people who are not willing to hear, because there's millions and billions of people out there, and many of them will be willing to hear about it, you see. So concentrate on those people who are willing to hear, and let the others go down to the animal kingdom. Don't expect everybody. Just find those people who are willing. There's so many people who are willing to hear. Go out and find them. Find those people who are willing to hear and focus on them. That will give you a whole lifetime of preaching you do, focusing on those people who are willing to hear. And those who don't want to hear, they'll go to the animal kingdom. They become dogs and monkeys and baboons and snakes, and they'll go to the hellish planets. Let them go to the hell if they want to go there. In a future lifetime, they get a chance, you see. Anything else? Does it make sense?
Hare Krishna.
Only my disciples have questions, nobody else? Okay.
So you were mentioning about gopis were envious of the flute.
Yeah.
So that means, is that a spiritual competition?
Oh, absolutely. Everything is spiritual in the spiritual. They're also envious of the deer.
So in this material world, among the devotees, is there anything called spiritual competition?
Is there spiritual envy amongst the devotees? Yeah, Prabhupada mentions it. If he said that some devotee is serving nicer than you, let me think how I can serve nicer than him so Kṛṣṇa will notice me also. Prabhupada says that, yeah. Oh, this devotee is leading kirtan much better than my horrible kirtans. His kirtans is so sweet and so nice, but mine are just horrible. But let me tell you, try to also make nice kirtans. So yeah, you can be inspired by other devotees and try to. That's called transcendental envy. Prabhupada says we can do. Prabhupada said that. Let me try harder so Kṛṣṇa recognize me also, you see. This devotee is pleasing Kṛṣṇa so much and I'm not. So let me try harder so Kṛṣṇa will notice me also, yes. Is that it? We end a little early now, because nobody seems to be very interested. Thinking, when will this thing be over? Here's the question.
Maybe I have a question. Is it better accept philosophy like Srila Prabhupada present us as it is and distribute in the same way, or accept this philosophy like Srila Prabhupada present us, digest it, get deep understanding, and then distribute others?
Can you help me understand?
So his question, should we listen Prabhupada's preaching, teachings, and just give the same words to people, or we can learn from Srila Prabhupada, understand.
Prabhupada's preaching according to time, Prabhupada preaches according to time, place, and circumstance. So we should understand the mood of Srila Prabhupada and apply the same mood that he has in our preaching. It's not that you just become like a robot. Prabhupada said this, Prabhupada said that. But you have to understand the mood of Srila Prabhupada and embrace that same mood. Like, how would Prabhupada want me to preach in this situation? That kind of a mood. Not just blindly preaching, but how would Prabhupada want me to preach in this situation? How can I please him by preaching in this situation according to his same mood? That's better than saying, well, Prabhupada said this, Prabhupada said that, Prabhupada, no. What is his mood, and how can I be in that same mood? What mood can I be in that will please Prabhupada very much? And that's better than just being a robot. Prabhupada said this, Prabhupada said that. No. What is the mood of Srila Prabhupada? How can I imbibe that mood of Srila Prabhupada? Preaching is according to time, place, and circumstance. So how can I take his mood and bring that mood into my present situation and please Prabhupada very much by my mood? But at the same time, you can't deviate from the teachings. The teachings have to be presented, but according to the time, place, and audience. Desha kala patra. Does that make sense? Or is it confusing? Make sense? Yeah. We don't change the teachings, we don't add or subtract from the teachings, we keep them as they are, but at the same time they're presented according to time, place, and circumstance. Any other questions?
So, time, place, and circumstance, does it mean you change?
No, I just said we don't change the teachings. But how they're presented has to be according to the audience. The style in which we present them is according to the audience. We don't add or subtract from them. We keep the teachings as they are, but they're presented in such a way according to the situation we're in. Not like a robot. Prabhupada is very expert at preaching according to time, place, and circumstance. If you study his teaching very carefully, his conversations, his lectures, you'll see how expert he was at preaching according to time, place, and circumstance. I mean, I'll give the example. When first lecture I heard was in Ratha Yatra 71 in the Golden Gate Park. There was 300 devotees, 3,000 hippies. And Prabhupada said, "You have all seen God." He told the hippies they had also seen God, you see. Because Kṛṣṇa says, "I'm the light of the sun." He said, every day you're drinking water, once, twice, thrice, more than that every day. He said, every time you drink water, you remember Kṛṣṇa, the taste of the water, immediately become Kṛṣṇa conscious. To become Kṛṣṇa conscious is not difficult, simply requires practice. So you can imagine how much the hippies were enlivened. I heard they've all seen God. You see. The hippies were into this thing like out and trying to have spiritual enlightenment by taking LSD and things like that. And Prabhupada said, "You've all seen God." They must have really enlivened. "Oh, we've all seen God." And Prabhupada said, "How we have seen God?" You see. So Prabhupada is very expert at preaching according to time, place, and circumstance. Kṛṣṇa says, "I'm the light of the sun." So we're all seeing the sunlight every day. We're seeing Kṛṣṇa, you see. So Prabhupada is he was the topmost expert at preaching according to time, place, and circumstance. So we should learn from him how to present our philosophy in such a way to appeal to the audience and to uplift the audience. That's what we have to see. Anything else? Anybody's ready to move on to the next program, whatever that is for you all? You see. So here we are going through, I see some familiar faces here. Here we are going through this process known as the cycle of birth and death. So my dear listeners, let us make this our last birth in the material world. Let's take this process very, very seriously so that we're definitely going back to home, back to Godhead. We're leaving this present body. Thank you very much. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Oh, questions on the internet. All right. We do Harinam 3 times every week in Lithuania. The process is going on for a long time, but there's little people that join the movement. Could you please share, Gurudev, what is the power of spreading the holy name? Gadadhar, even if they don't join this movement, they've gotten unlimitedly blessed by hearing the Harinam party. So, what about not? I recommend doing book distribution and Harinam, both. You can have some book distributors. Some devotees in the party can be doing book distribution while the Harinamas going on. Because people are getting, what is this? That's what I recommend. Have book distributors along with the Harinam party, both things simultaneously. That's what I recommend. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much. Hare Kṛṣṇa.